What is going on, you guys? Today I have another episode for you where I'm going to be reviewing a YouTube channel called Dry Creek Wrangler School, and the title here is The Men That Don't Fit In. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna read you a poem, and we're gonna talk about it just a little bit, okay? The poem is by one of my favorites. His name's Robert Service, okay? And the poem is The Men That Don't Fit In. There's a race of men that don't fit in, a race that can't stay still. So they break the hearts of kith and kin, and they roam the world at will. They range the field, and they rove the flood, and they climb the mountain's crest. Theirs is the curse of the gypsy blood, and they don't know how to rest. If they just went straight, they might go far. They are strong and brave and true, but they're always tired of the things that are. They want the strange and new. They say, could I find my proper groove, what a deep mark I would make. So they chop and change, and each fresh move is only a fresh mistake. And each forgets as he strips and runs with a brilliant, fitful pace. It's the steady, quiet, plodding ones who win in the lifelong race. And each forgets that his youth has fled, forgets that his prime's past, till he stands one day with a hope that's dead in the glare of the truth at last. He has failed, he has failed, he has missed his chance. He has just done things by half, life's been a jolly good joke on him, and now is the time to laugh. Ha ha, he is one of the legions lost. He was never meant to win. He's a rolling stone and it's bred in the bone. He's a man who won't fit in. Now, the thing about this poem that strikes me and always has is on the one side, Service speaks complimentary and well of these men, and then towards the end, he says that in the end their life is a failure. They didn't succeed. They didn't win. They didn't reach their destination because they don't fit in. I am one of those men who don't fit in. All right. I agree with Robert Service on this in parts of it I disagree. First off, what does it mean to fit in? And why would I want to fit in? And fitting into what? Now, it's an imagery. So to me, the imagery of fitting in is fitting into a box or fitting into a hole, fitting into something that has been constructed. There are those of us out there who don't fit in because we don't want to get in. We don't want to be in. The race is not about the destination because there is no destination in mind.
Yep.
The race is about the running and what we see while we are running. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, this.
Yeah, I already want to say this. So he's talking about this now. There's literally no reason for you to want to fit in. There's really no benefit to that. And I understand it on a evolutionary psychology level or a biological level, like you feel like you don't fit in with the tribe, and so you're sort of exiled or excommunicated, so you're like alone, right? So it strikes a chord with people in a fear-based mindset, like, oh, I don't fit in. Now, you've probably seen this before. Likely what's going to happen, on the same note, if everyone likes you, you're probably doing something wrong. And by that I mean you're probably people-pleasing. You're probably trying not to rock the boat. You're trying to not offend people all the time. And I'm not saying to be, like ruthless or unkind. Always be kind, right? Always be good to people. What I am saying is you want to be the type of person who is not a doormat and is willing to speak the truth. And a great example of this is if you have a best friend who's willing to tell you the hard truth rather than your other friends who don't want to tell you the harsh truth because they're afraid to hurt your feelings. You see? Because you're going to value that best friend so much more because they told you the truth and they helped you be the best version of you. So I really like that he said that. And then one thing about that poem, I wonder if he's going to talk about it later. You don't need to seek anything. Like there's no like destination or anything you need to seek anyways in life, because everyone has been brainwashed to forget that you already have it. Let's keep going though.
This country was built. It was settled and it was built. And we're not talking about all the question, the conflicts with the Native Americans that were here first and everything. I'm not. That is its own issue. But we'll just set that aside for a minute. The westward expansion and the build. And we know the names. We know the names of the titans who built the railroads and who built the telegraph lines connecting the far east with the far west. And we know about the settlers and the pioneers who made their way west following the Oregon Trail. But we don't know so much about those men whose names have never made it in the paper. Who came first? The men who came out when there wasn't anything here. And the only thing they came out for was to see what was new. There's a hill. Let's go see what's on the other side of that hill. Here's a river. Let's see what's around the bend in this river. Let's go discover for ourselves things that have never been discovered before.
This is important because it's the joy in living your life now, what you already have. You know how he was saying, what's around that hill? What's over that mountain? What's across that river? Instead of being anxiety-based, fear-based, scarcity mindset, lack-minded, what if you flip that into all of this being a positive thing, right? You're not seeking anything. You're simply following. Imagine pulling a rope out or a thread. You're following a thread of excitement, of what brings you joy, what naturally makes you excited and happy, because you already have joy and you're choosing to feel any other emotion. So this is important too. It's a little bit of a tangent. Anytime you decide to feel frustrated, upset, mad, sad, whatever, right? You decide that. So you attach yourself to that emotion. So if you have the choice to do that, why not attach yourself to joy and relaxation? Because that's in you already. There's no reason to attach yourself to those other emotions. And I want you to think about it like this. It's either a cloud passing by. You can choose to where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? So you feed into the anxiety or the anger or whatever more, that feeling gets bigger and you can feel it in your body. I know we've all felt that before. Another way of thinking about this is the cloud is like a letter or an invitation to feel that way. And you can decline, say no to that invitation of feeling frustrated, sad, angry. Of course, these are all a normal range of human emotions. What I want you to realize is our default state is joy. And you don't need to seek outside for anything to complete you. You're not going to be happy when you get that relationship, that job, that body, whatever, right? That financial goal. It's not that. It's the joy in the now, or what he's talking about, the journey. And maybe you might have a end, like the end in sight, like what you want your life to look like. Now that you're so specific on that, you know what you want, now you can just enjoy the journey. You see what I'm saying?
Not to own it, not to conquer it, but just to experience it. That was it. To experience it. Society said, you need to be here. Society said, this is what a successful man looks like. Society said, this is what a responsible man looks like. But there were men who said, I don't fit into that. I'm going to go try something new. I'm going to go see things that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do things I haven't done. I'm going to smell smells that I have never smelled. Think about the first European. I have no idea who or when. Think about the very first European who came west and caught that smell of sagebrush. I love the smell of sage. And you can imagine how heady that must have been. Imagine the first who came out, and the first European who came out and saw a geyser in Yellowstone, or saw a herd of millions of buffalo on the plains. Now, did they shoot those buffalo and skin them and take it back east and make them millions? No, they did not. Others who came after them did, but they did not, because they didn't fit in. They didn't want to go back east. There was nothing back east for them. They didn't care about money. They didn't care about success. They didn't care about a predetermined, preset destination in life, a certain number in the bank account.
Yep.
They cared about experience in life, and they didn't fit in. And that's old.
Life is rich without any of those things. And ironically, once you let go, all of those things come much more quickly and much easier to you. All those things he mentioned, like the relationship, the body, the finances, all of that comes easier once you finally let go and experience this joy. Living in the moment, enjoying the process, not so focused, worried about the steps and this and that and controlling everything. It's like you're holding a hose with water coming out and you let go and the water flows naturally. It's not like a scary thing, like you're hanging on the edges of a cliff, or you're jumping off the cliff. Like people say, oh, just take the leap, just jump. A much better example of that, it's actually not scary. It's literally letting go of a hose with water coming out of it. And now your life, everything comes naturally once you do that.
Okay, it's not only okay, but it's necessary. Society, the society of drones, and I don't say that derisively, okay? The workers are needed. They build stuff. But they won't build stuff until the lone outlying explorer and experience goes out and comes back and says, guys, you won't believe what I saw out there. You won't believe what I experienced out there. I stood on a mountaintop and watched a thunderstorm below me moving up the valley. There's mountains up there that are so high, you won't believe it. There are rivers out there that are so wide, you can barely see across. But these were men who didn't fit in. These were men who never got rich. These were men who never got famous. These were men who never reached a predetermined destination. But they were the men upon which this country was built. Their discoveries, and they didn't go out there, all of them, to discover. They just went out to see what was out there for themselves. But everything that this country has accomplished and built was built on the men that don't fit in. Now, Dwayne, why? Because some of you out there are like me, and for the longest time, I didn't fit in. I didn't fit in church, raised in it my whole life. I was ordained in 1997, but I never did fit in. Never did fit in. I'm out on the edge of a world now that of these podcasts and these wisdom and entrepreneurs and all this stuff. But I'm out on the edge. I'll never fully fit in. Don't really want to. Don't care. People asking, Dwayne, what is your business plan? I don't have a business plan. My business plan is throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. The things that I like, I will keep doing. The things that I don't like, I'm not going to do. And if there's some money to be made doing that, well, there's a happy coincidence. And if there's not, I don't care. Why? Because I am very proudly a man that don't fit in. Sometimes a man who's not at peace is a man who was born to not fit in, but he's trying to shoehorn himself into a box or into a hole that he was never meant to fit in. And that might be you. All right, know who you are. Know if you're meant to walk shoulder to shoulder and line to line with a group of other men. And if you are, great, wonderful, do it. Be the best at it. But if you're not, don't search for a destination. The trip is the destination. The journey is the goal. The journey is the goal For some of us, the journey isn't to reach a goal. I had my best friend in all the world. I've talked about him a lot on here. He asked me this week, I stopped and visited him while I was out. He asked me, he said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I said, probably dead and underground. I don't know. I don't care. I have no destination. Every day is my destination. It's the journey. Some of you are meant for the journey, not for the arrival. But you're not enjoying the journey because you're trying to find a destination that does not exist for you. Embrace the journey and shun the box. And be one of those men who finds things, who figures things out, who sees things that others are not able to see. And then you'll find an excitement, an adventure, and a purpose in life that you never knew was there. Find your peace, man. All right? Be logical. Be reasonable. Be safe. Have fun. And just go see what's over that hill. Just because you don't know, you'd like to know.
All right, you guys, definitely a great video there. I want to ask you to do something after this. Go look up non-duality. Like, look up a non-duality YouTube video and put in the comments below this video after you watch it and let me know what you think. Because effectively, that's part of what he's talking about right now. It's experiencing joy all along the way, experiencing life and not letting it pass you by. Waiting, oh, I'll be happy when I get to that destination. That's how that happens. And you get to the end of your life and you're like, oh, all I did was listen to others, follow society, fit in the box, blah, blah, blah. I didn't follow my excitement. I wasn't adventurous. I wasn't creative. And what he was saying with this, everybody, there's no like these people and that people, everybody has the ability to return to a state of abundance and joy and get out of your mental barriers, which are creating all these like overthinking and anxiety and scarcity mindset. Bypassing the mind and the brain, you'll remember. What people brainwashed you to forget is that you're abundant already. And life is about to get so much easier for you. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.